8 at the 42. Boyer over the middle, wide open is Cecil, shorts and shorts off to the races. The stiff-on clears him for 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our own Cecil Shorts. Right there. Man, that last little clip there, I wish we could see more of that on the Texans. Can you do anything about that or no?
I wish.
All right, so this is Cecil. He comes to our church, see him every week with his beautiful, beautiful family. And drafted by Jacksonville, you played for the Buccaneers, you also played for the Texans. But first things first, would you please tell us about your family, tell us about your wife, tell us about your kids. You have how many kids do you have? They're looking at the picture. Yeah.
So my family. My beautiful bride, Chanel. We've been together since 2008. She was a freshman, I was a sophomore. I was kind of creeping on the freshman. That's another story. We have 7 beautiful kids together. 11-year-old boy. Yeah. Cecil the 4th, 11. Peyton, who's 9. My boy Montana, who's 6. And then Harper, who is 5. And then we have triplets that are 4 years old. Oh, everybody goes, oh. Yeah, is there any babysitters out there? Anybody wants to? Yeah. So, quick story. My wife and I, we had the Big Four. We call them the Big Four. Cecil, Peyton, Montana, Harper, 2 boys, 2 girls. Perfect setup. It could be a daddy's day out. All the guys come with me. Mommy's day out. The girls go with mommy. We can switch it up. We can mix and match. You can do a lot of things. We decided to go for 1 more. And the Lord said, we're going to give you 3. All 3 are girls. So we went from 2 and 2 to 5 and 2. So pray for me, please.
That's absolutely awesome. And if you've spent any time at our church whatsoever, then you've probably maybe heard me say, y'all need to have more kids because the world needs more good people, and so good people need to have kids. But I didn't realize you were taking it personally. I didn't realize that.
Trying to be obedient.
That's awesome, man. So you played college ball in Ohio. You set all kinds of records. Everything was going your way. You got drafted by Jacksonville. Then, right when you got drafted, the NFL had a lockout. So you went from achieving this long-time dream to then you really didn't have a job. You had to go get like a normal job, which you took a job remodeling houses. And then when the NFL opened back up, you faced some injuries that put you on the bench. I'm going to say probably more than you would have liked to have been on the bench. In 2017, you had 3 knee surgeries in 7 months. So what's going through your head? And I'm asking this question because I know we've got young people in our church and they maybe mistakenly believe that if you can get here, then it's going to be smooth sailing after that. And it's not always that way, correct?
No, that's not the case. I'll never forget being drafted, being at home, surrounded by family and friends, mom crying, dad all excited. And then the next day, I'm figuring out, where I'm going to work at. Yeah. It was a humbling experience. You did your research, by the way. Not many people know I remodel houses. Yeah. So that was crazy. Like normally you get drafted, you get flown out or flew out to that particular city. You get introduced, you hold your jersey up. Oh, yay, I'm drafted, all excited. And then a couple weeks later you start, rookie mini camp and practices. That wasn't the case. So I was literally working on houses and working out and finding different jobs in the city I was in. And my wife was, my girlfriend at the time, she was pregnant with our oldest. Mm-hmm. And we were just trying to figure things out. So it was a humbling experience. That and then you go along, keep going. We eventually went back to the lockout, eventually left, right, and went to training camp. And then as you mentioned, throughout my career, I faced different injuries and different adversities. And during that time, I had to learn to use that pain, use that adversity to help me grow as a man, right? Mm-hmm. To help me grow in my faith, to help me grow as an individual, because no matter what level you get to, there's always going to be tough times and adversity. You have to keep chugging along. And I was so determined. I was so motivated to prove that I belonged at that level. I went to a Division III college, University of Mount Union in Ohio. And for our division, we're really, really good, but there's no athletic scholarships. So I didn't go Division I, didn't go Division II, didn't go NAIA or the 1AA. I went to the last of, the bottom, I guess you could say. But I was just so motivated to prove a point, to make my family proud, and in the long run, it worked out well.
Yeah. So your dad, just talk about him for just a second, because I know your dad was a coach. He coached you in high school, and now you've kind of come full circle because you were a player, and now you're a coach. You're a coach at Second Baptist High School in downtown Houston, which is awesome. Good for you. But how has your dad influenced you not only in your life, but also now that you've come back to coaching?
He was my role model.
Yeah.
He was a guy I saw give countless effort and pour into kid after kid after kid. So he was my high school football coach. He was my PE teacher in high school, and he's still doing this today.
Yeah.
But he is somebody that literally got up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to go pick up kids 30 minutes away from our home just to get them up and take them to school, because he understood if he didn't take them to school, they weren't coming to school that day. He was the type of guy that was pour into them Jesus Christ day after day after day, just trying to be the example, not being afraid in the public school system. You have to be careful nowadays, not being afraid to share Jesus Christ and share his faith and try to bring others to Christ. He was the example I saw every single day, and that just kind of impacted me. And I didn't even know it at the time, right? I'm just so used to him seeing that. And he did a great job of pouring into other children, but still, I'm the oldest of 6 siblings. We still got everything that we needed. He didn't shortchange us at all. And he had a balance that was amazing. And I'm just so grateful for him, his example. He was outstanding, and he's probably the reason why I'm in the position I am today as far as coaching and being able to pour back into other individuals as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I know the Lord has been working on you and for a long time, and I know that your wife has prayed for you, and which is awesome to have a godly wife praying for you. And I also know that recently you got baptized right here at New Hope Church, and there's a picture of that happening right there. With family in the background, which is awesome, and let me tell you real quick. He comes out the door that day, and the baptism line is right there, and he was at the end of the baptism line, but didn't intend to be. He was just coming out the door, and I said, "You know what that means? You got to get baptized. You're in the line," just kind of joking around, and his wife walks away. Sweet as she is, she goes over to one of our pastoral care directors, and every now and then I look over and they're like praying. They're praying, and they glance over at us. I'm like, what is going wrong? What am I doing here? And so your wife is literally praying for you in that moment, and then we get done talking, and I go my way, and I'm cheering for the people getting baptized, and I look up on the steps, and there's you in shorts and a shirt about to get baptized. And so I know the Lord's been in your life, but he's been working on you for a long time. I think the first time I saw you, you were on the front row taking notes, wearing a straight billed hat. That's what I remember, a straight billed hat, because not everybody can pull off the straight bill, but he was pulling it off right on the front row of church. And so I was like, this guy's hungry. The Lord's doing something in his heart. And so tell me, your wife praying for you, and
Well, my wife, she's my heart and soul. She means everything to me. She's literally, at this moment in my life, my best friend. She's seen me at my worst. She's seen me at my best. I'll never forget December 4th, 2016. It was my last game ever as an NFL player. And I'm playing for Tampa Bay, and we're in San Diego. The Chargers were in San Diego at the time. I feel old now because they moved to LA and all that stuff. But my last play, I run a 15-yard in route, run 15 yards straight, come in, and then Jameis Winston threw me the ball, and I thought I was gone. I'm like, I'm about to score. It's my first start for Tampa Bay. I'm out of here. And as soon as I touched the ball, a safety comes who I didn't see came and took my knee out. And long story short, I tore everything in my knee. And I was in California, and at that point in time, I did not understand the severity of the injury. When I get to the hospital, Chanel, my wife, is there. And I'm like, how did you get here? From Houston. I'm like, how did you get here that quickly? She is somebody that's going to care for me, that loves me, that wants the best for me. How she's maturing and growing as a woman of faith, it helps me. To see her grow helps me grow. She holds me accountable. But she holds me accountable as a man, as a leader of the household. She is just amazing. So during that time that I got injured, long story short, I was 2 centimeters away from getting my leg amputated. And she knew right away at the time, because they were talking behind the scenes, trying to make sure the nerves and whatever the case may be. And I didn't know. I'm just sitting there loopy on medicine. But she was there the whole time, keeping me strong. And during that time, 7 surgeries from 16 till 20. It was like 7 surgeries that had to happen on my knee. And during that time, I was facing some deep, deep, dark depression, some deep things going on. And she woke my butt up like, hey, you don't understand what's going on. You're treating us this way. You're not yourself. And she was the reason I'm healthier today. So I owe everything to her, honestly.
That's awesome, man.
So when it goes to my faith and being baptized, you were preaching that day, and it was really heavy on my heart, like, hey, I need to get baptized, but, not for me, but for my children. They can understand how serious I am about chasing Jesus Christ, how serious I am about leading my family.
Because you'd been baptized before, earlier.
I've been baptized before, so it was more about me being, rededicating my life in front of my kids and letting them know, hey, the same way that I was pursuing football, the same way I was getting up early, I was dedicated, I was working out by myself, I would wake up in the early morning, go jog and run routes and do everything I needed to do to pursue that dream. I'm taking that same effort and I'm trying to pursue that with Jesus Christ.
That's awesome, man. Church family, give it up for Cecil Shorts. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.